Hello again, folks. I thought I'd make one last video of this piece I've been working on since so many of you requested seeing me paint in the hummingbird. It's just going to be a short one this time. As you can see, I've already started adding color. And I'm not using too much of a different technique than what I did with the leaves, which is basically to slowly tap in the color. Trying not to add too much water to disrupt the surface of the paper. This is a little bit more of an important concern with the hummingbird than it was with the leaves, only because the ink technique that I used for the hummingbird was line work as opposed to the leaves, which was stippling, that making of tiny little dots. The unfortunate aspect with line work on this paper is that it tends to disrupt the surface a little bit more. So if I use too much water, I might actually disrupt that surface and the paint may end up looking muddy, which is something I'm trying to avoid doing. So once again, tapping in that color very slowly, letting it dry so I can see how each is going to look and whether I need to add more or not. Another important aspect with this is the fact that I am working from a dried specimen as opposed to a taxidermied specimen. And in the process of a bird drying, it actually loses a little bit of its shape. As you can see here, this little fellow actually hit a window and broke its neck. So I basically just pinned it in the position that I wanted. And as it dried, the abdomen actually sunk in a little bit, and of course so did the area where the eye would be. So I have to take that into account because obviously I want this little fellow to look alive and not like a dried specimen. I've spent quite a few years observing hummingbirds here in California where I live. It's a wonderful place to observe them year-round. And so in that process of observation, I've learned their shape and how they move relatively well. And I've done quite a few of these drawings, so with experience comes knowledge. And so I'm able now to create relatively realistic positioning of hummingbirds. And it's something I really do enjoy. I do tend to do one thing other artists don't when doing hummingbirds. We all know that they have those fast-moving little wings. And so oftentimes artists tend to put that wing in motion by sort of hazing it out or not having fine definition. But I tend to gravitate towards the structure of things. And with the amazing maneuverability of hummingbirds, I find the structure of wings really beautiful. So I actually like to do some definition in my hummingbird wings. I do tend to allow light to come through so that you see that they are a sort of delicate, translucent thing. And you can even see here with the specimen as light's coming through. They are very, very delicate. But I'm actually drawing the entire structure as opposed to blurring it out, and hoping that you get the sense of movement by the entire position that I've put the hummingbird in. Anyway, that's my hope. Create a little bit of movement just by the shape. Anyway, this is probably going to take me a few more layers of paint. I will take some detailed photos for you and post them later, so you might have a little bit closer view of what I've done here. I'm going to let the tape run just a little bit longer and continue to paint. But I would like to thank you all for watching these videos and for all the kind comments that you've left on my page. I truly appreciate it. I hope in the future, as I get a little bit better at making these videos, I will do more of them and post them so that you might have a little bit more of an understanding of how I work and how I create these pieces. But in the meantime, I'd like to wish you a beautiful day or night, wherever you are in the world.